past 30 years. The weather has been horrible.
Hi, my name is Zaina Hassan. Welcome to Colliding Course. Today we're going to be talking about the 30 Years' War. In 1555, the Peace of Augsburg was a treaty made between Charles V and a league. This gave rulers the power to either have a Lutheran kingdom or a Catholic kingdom. There were 4 phases of the war. The first 2 were Bohemian and Danish, which were local and religious, and the 3rd and 4th phases were Swedish and French. These were continental and political. The 30-Year War began under the rule of Ferdinand II of Spain, who was Catholic, and when he decided to revoke the Letter of Majesty, which granted full toleration to Protestants.
In 1555, the Peace of Augsburg was written by all the forces of the Holy Roman Empire. This meant that if your ruler was Catholic, so were the citizens, and if your ruler was Protestant, so were the citizens. But in the early 1600s, the Habsburg, who were mostly Catholic, ruled over a mostly Protestant citizenship. So obviously the Peace of Augsburg wasn't working, and the people mostly ignored it. Due to the difference in religion between the leader and the citizens, the Habsburg wrote the Letter of Majesty. This allowed the tolerance of religion. But Ferdinand didn't like this, so he revoked it because he wanted all his citizens to be Catholic. The first phase is known as the Bohemian phase. The Bohemian phase was mostly civil war between the Catholic League and the Protestant Union in 1620. Catholic forces defeated the Protestants at the Battle of the White Mountain. This occurred because the Protestants were throwing the Catholic messengers out the window.
Aggravated at the Catholic teachings, Protestants threw them out the window.
An important person during the 30 Years' War was Maximilian I. Born in April 17, 1573, in Munich, Bavaria, he had the title of Duke of Bavaria from 1597 and Elector from 1623. He was also a champion of the Roman Catholic side during the 30 Years' War. He revised the law code, built on an effective army, and tightened control over his lands and the church. To counteract the newly created Protestant Union, in 1609, Maximilian formed the Catholic League. In 1619, he set the Catholic League's army to fight the rebellious Bohemian subjects of Emperor Ferdinand II. Maximilian was present when his troops destroyed Frederick's forces at the Battle of White Mountain. The Battle of White Mountain happened in November 8, 1620. The battle fought near Prague in Bohemia. The battle marked the first major victory of the Roman Catholic Habsburgs over the Protestant Union, a military alliance among the Protestant states of Germany in the 30 Years' War.
Albert Wallenstein started off as a Bohemian military leader. He then became supreme commander of the armies of the Habsburg Emperor Ferdinand II and was then a major figure of the 30 Years' War. Wallenstein fought for the Catholics in the Protestant Bohemian Revolt of 1618. He was then rewarded with estates confiscated from the rebels after their defeat at White Mountain in 1620.
The second phase, known as the Danish phase, happened during the reign of a Protestant king named Christian IV of Denmark, who went to battle with the Holy Roman Empire and completely lost.
You rolling? Okay.
Type cute. Sorry.
Stop gassing me.
Roll.
Okay, just go.
Action.
Okay, in the third phase, or also known as the Swedish phase, it began with the Swedish arrival in Germany. The Swedish king Gustavus Adolphus and his army began to invade the Holy Roman Empire. They did this because they wanted to help the Protestants win against the Catholics. Gustavus had won 2 important battles, but was fatally wounded in combat, in the Battle of Lutzen in 1632.
Okay. Gustavus' death in the Battle of Lutzen led to the decline of Sweden's active leadership role in the Protestant cause. Upon entering the last phase, the Catholics were now 2-1. The French phase is seen as the bloodiest, largest, and most continental phase. The roles of each country in the previous phases were now flipped. The Swedish funded the French, and in the end there was no winner. Things became repetitive, and people became tired. This war is important because historians see it as the end of the Protestant Reformation, 1648. Ultimately, the Peace of Westphalia weakened the Holy Roman Empire, which led to a bigger separation between church and state. Dutch Netherlands became independent. which ended up weakening the Habsburgs. Switzerland becomes an independent confederation and is known for their independence. The fighting still occurred between France and Spain. However, many of the imperial territories established in the Peace of Westphalia later became the sovereign nation-states of many European state countries. People also had the freedom of private worship.
Act 1, take 4.
Yes. Good evening, peasants. The wind has...
Act 1, Scene 1, the 30 Years' War.
Yeah. For the past 30 years.
I know.
What are you doing?
She's trying to make it seem like it's windy. Okay. Act 1, take 3.
For the past 30 years, the wind has been horrible.
The wind? The wind has been horrible.
I said the wind.
In 1555, the Peace of Augsburg made a treaty between Charles V and a league. Stop laughing!
Take 4, action.
Hi, my name is Anna.
Stop! Thank you so much for tuning into Collide Course. Please like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to follow our social medias, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Subscribe.